Hello BookTube. I recently saw a video from Virgil at Literary Books. He had a great video called 6 Books I Wish Had Sequels, and I thought I've got to do that. And so in like a minute, I came up with 6 books, and I've only came up with 6 books. We're sticking to 6 today because I do tend to go a bit overboard with this, but I thought why not do this quickly before I have to go to work? I've got 20 minutes before I go. But so here's my 6 books. 3 of them are classics, 3 of them are more modern, and let's get started. I literally don't have anything to say besides the titles, but let's start. Moby Dick. I wish there was a sequel to Moby Dick. It put Ishmael in it, but I trust Melville so much with that. I know, um, I I know it wasn't successful when it was first published. It killed his career, but there's a part of me that really would be interested to see what Melville would do with a sequel. And Moby Dick lived, so you can always just bring him back. Why not? Bring the whale back. And I thought that'd be a really cool idea. I hope if Melville was to do a sequel, it would be more experimental. Double down on the weirdness of Moby Dick and make something even weirder. So that's number 1, Moby Dick. Number 2 is Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift. What do you want me to say about Gulliver's Travels? It's so weird, and especially for the 1700s, really nothing reads like it, because a lot of the early novels were more slice of life and, just not as creative as Gulliver's Travels really was. And I feel like I want a sequel. I want to go to more weird places where Jonathan's mind could just what he could come up with, really, especially towards the end of Gulliver's Travels, where all the places Gulliver goes, it gets really strange, and I want Gulliver to keep on traveling, and so I want a sequel to Gulliver's Travels. If Robinson Crusoe could get a second book, a sequel, why can't Gulliver's Travels? That's my opinion. So I would like one for Gulliver's Travels too. Then number 3 is I'm probably the only person that wants this. I want a sequel to City of God by St. Augustine and the Confessions. I want Augustine on his deathbed in an alternative world to finish writing the Confessions Part 2 and just really document the second half of his life where the Confessions ends off to the day he died, pretty much. I would love if he'd done that. It would probably be a bit too sappy, I feel like, especially because I find the Confessions to be a bit sappy at times, but I want a sequel, but I want the true thing is City of God. I know he covered the Roman period in City of God, but I don't know where he would take it. Maybe he could focus back on the Greeks or something. I really don't know, but I just, in my heart, I really want a sequel to City of God and Confessions. And also Madison, but he could have also just annotated the Bible completely, just throwing it out there. He could have done the entire Old Testament. So that's the first 3. Let's go to the second 3 now. So number 4 is some Heya. Now I had to sneak some Heya in there because she is the queen of my life. But I want a sequel to Royal Escape, and this is going to be coming up on Heya Time next week. I read it recently, and I want a sequel to this because not King Charles II, but Charles II, he escapes to where does he go? He goes to France after a failed attempt to regain power, and the novel ends with him scheming and planning, and it just ends. I'm like, hey, where's the sequel? And so I kind of want that. So we have that one from Heya, but I also have a sneaky one. I know I'm sneaking in more books, but I could wish, if I could wish these into existence, because when Heya was dying, her big magnum opus she wanted to be was a medieval romance trilogy, right? And it was going to start with My Lord John, and then she died before she could even start the next 2 books. In fact, My Lord John was just the manuscript published, and I would wish those 2 other sequels into existence, just to see what Heya would do with that. Especially in that time period in the medieval ages, I would have loved to see what she'd done more. I feel like that's a really untapped part of time where Heya, I think, really could have been really interesting in writing, because she normally just stuck to Georgian and a lot of like British history and obviously Regency and all that. But I would have loved if we could have got the sequels to My Lord John, because that would have been incredible. Number 5 is a bit of an interesting one. And I don't know how it's going to go here, but I have Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I love Haunting of Hill House. It's my favorite Shirley novel. And I think the ending for Haunting of Hill House is so iconic, where the main girl, like, she has to leave, and so you don't get the actual horror in Haunting of Hill House, but there's a greedy part of me that really wants that. So I hope what I would imagine for a good sequel to Haunting of Hill House, and very deep down in my heart, I really don't think there needs to be a sequel, is to have like the next group of people enter that house and then it reveals the horrors. I know that spoilers the whole slow dread of Haunting of Hill House, but I just want to see Shirley writing more horror in that novel and more like the supernatural stuff even. I just want more Haunting of Hill House, and that's really what it comes down to. But so yeah, I would love a sequel to that. I would not complain if they found it somewhere in Shirley's, house or whatever. Then number 6, again, a bit of a weird one, but I would be invested into a sequel to The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. It's the Bell Jar. Like, what do you want me to say about it? It is a lot, and I feel like after that girl goes through all the like shock therapy and all that stuff, and her life's like quote back to normal for that time period, I would have loved to see where she kept of going. Would she have had another mental breakdown in her life? Because it kind of just ends like, yeah, I went through all that therapy and a lot of death around me, and look how happy I am now. And I would have liked maybe like a time jump in that girl's life. I can't remember her name in the book, but I feel like a time jump in that girl's life as a sequel to The Bell Jar would have been a bit interesting. It's one of those ones where like I don't really want it, but like I would it's a bit of a weird one. So that is my 6 books I wish had sequels. It's just a quick video. Oh my god. Let me know what you think about the books I've talked about today. And yeah, please feel free to do this video because it's so fun. And thank you so much for watching BookTube, and I will see you next time.